You're listening to the All Burgundy and Go Everything Commanders post game show, powered by the Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio 96.9 FM and 1340 AM. Hopewell, Virginia. The Commanders fell to the Seattle Seahawks 29-26 in a tightly contested game. I'm Wole. I'm joined by my co-host Glenn Ray. Jeezy's out. We will also have Sports Journey's Commanders reporter Lake Lewis Jr. later on. But before we get into the actual game, let's get into the particulars real quick. Subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. Just search All Burgundy and Go Everything. Also tweet us at ABG_everything. And then like our All Burgundy and Go Everything Facebook page. I think if I didn't mention, make sure you hit us up on IG as well at ABG_everything. That's at ABG_everything. Make sure you subscribe to our All Burgundy and Go Everything YouTube channel. If you're on YouTube, like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right, Glenn, I mentioned the score 29-26 Seattle. Game-winning kick by Myers. But Sam Howell led a touchdown drive to De'Ami Brown for a touchdown. But let's get right into it. What were your overall thoughts on the game, my man?
Overall thoughts on the game. The offense kind of woke up late. And I think they woke up late after they started running the football, started having success. Running the football was able to open some things up, and they found some things that they could do where they could get the running backs out in the flat, where they can get some of your linebackers, your Bobby Wagners out of the box, right? He started seeing more. You started seeing him hit more with Logan Thomas and things. So I thought the offense played well. Could have did that earlier, but sometimes penalties would set them back. Yeah. And they couldn't never get really ahead of the sticks. Well, that's the case. Defense played tough. Once again, big play, right? The 66-yard big play that Walker took off, the dump pass. Defender slips. Percy Butler misses a tackle, and he's off to the races. Even came down. If you think about it, if you really, even though the field goal at the end, even the kick missed by Joey Slye makes a big difference, right? The extra point by Joey Slye makes a big difference in this contest. So you got to, just this little things this team is doing, which is costing them football games, which is costing the football game.
Yeah, you are so kind. So you said the defense was played tough. I don't think they played tough at all. You are so kind.
I say play tough early in the game because they was holding them to threes, right? I mean, Seattle didn't really drive down the field until late in the game.
They drove to get field goals. I didn't. Again, that's like there's no restriction. You know what I mean? Like we said this on the pregame show, and we said this even during the week. Like Gino don't like blitzes, and we let him sit back and do whatever to a point where he can drive. Like why? You're right. They gave up 3, but why not? Why not give up nothing? Why not try to give up nothing? Like they play this bend but don't break style, and they're cool with giving up points. This defense to me has been trash. Teams are easy. Every quarterback can move down the field on this defense, and it's got to stop. Like obviously, like we mentioned before we started recording, what did losing Emmanuel Forbes do to this defense? Because he's coming back. He's coming to the. He had a good game last week, so we had some momentum, and we saw St. Juice out there getting cooked. You know what I mean? So and I think you put the poll out there, Glenn. Would Emmanuel Forbes make a difference? I don't know, because to me, in the body of work with this defense, it's been the same old. Like they give up points. You know what I mean? Like Seattle need a feel good defense to play against, and they got it right here. Props to I'm gonna go on a positive side of things, man. I was impressed with Sam Howell, man. Like you said, Glenn, they did start off slow on the offense. I do think that Seattle did certain things, and EB made it and EB was stubborn when passing the football. I think if he ran the football a little bit more, maybe you have something totally different with the offense. But Sam Howell, we talking about him, man. Like what he did today, how he kept his composure, the big plays he made. Like he was him. I believe he threw. I'm looking at the stats right now. He threw over 300 yards. Let me pull it up right now. Pull up the game stats. Yeah, Sam Howell threw over. Here, box. Here you go. Yeah, here we go. Sam Howell. It's taking forever. Yeah, threw over 300 yards, 312, 3 touchdowns. I mean, he was him. Like Sam Howell was him. And props to him. Props to like Brian Robinson Jr. Like, yes, you may not be able to tote that rock in terms of running the football, but you did in the passing game. You had over 100 yards receiving in the passing game.
I just want to say I'm 2 for 2 far, 3 for 3 far as fantasy players.
Facts, man. You're killing it.
For the last 3 weeks.
You're killing the game, bro. You're killing the game. But I just want to see, like, and it's not, we're not starting off with, like, I'm not talking about the players who left here. I just want to see this defense play better. Like, that's all I want. I want to see what, at the end of the day, yes, you are -2 players, but you still got 2 dudes in Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne, Cam Curl. You got guys out there who play at a high level. I just want to see this defense do something. Like, play with some friction.
Payne was getting cooked today by the center. If you go back and watch game tape, watch film, Payne was getting washed down, right? When you saw Charbonnet and Walker run up the middle, it was because Deron Payne was getting washed down and the middle was opening up. Center was taking Deron Payne whichever way he wanted to go. Deron try to swim, get him on his hip, and he would take him down, creating the lanes. And they got that. They understood that. Deron didn't, to me, in my opinion, plays that when watching the game didn't live up to his ability today. Now, Jonathan Allen had a big sack in the third quarter.
Yeah, he showed out. He had a sack.
Right, a big sack in the third quarter. But again, this team has not been able to put everything together. Defensively, I mean, let's be honest. This team is putting up points, right?
They're putting up points. That's the problem. Like that's the thing that they're putting up points. Like I don't want to hear about I want folks to talk about like I know people want to talk about EB and whatever. They're putting up 26. They put up points. Like
they're putting up points.
They're putting up points.
They're putting up points. It's not an EB thing. Sam Howell was rolling out of the pocket, finding open receivers. He putting up points. He gave the team everything they needed to do. He's making a throw. Didn't make any mistakes today, right? Didn't throw any interceptions. Didn't 312, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. That's a good game, right? That if you get that every week, you should win more football games other than this. And so any question that anybody has, I said this on the pregame show. Yeah. Is Sam Howell that dude? Is Sam Howell the franchise quarterback for the Washington Commanders? Yes, he is.
Yeah, I think it's already done. He is him. I've said this. Like, we got to stop having that. This shouldn't even be a question anymore, to be honest with you. Like, it shouldn't be a thing. Like, he is him. My man, Mark Anderson said Sam Howell played well, but the defense is a mess. No corners, no linebackers. Ron Rivera last year in Washington. That goes for Jack Del Rio. They have so much improvement that needs to be done. I agree. I do. I think that on that defensive side of football, a lot needs to be done schematically. Within some players are gonna have to bring in. It's not it. And like I don't even like Jamin wasn't bad. I'm not mad at Jamin. But dude, like this, you keep playing Mayo. Like I don't get it. Like Seattle was purposely targeting him. Like you could tell. Like the game plan was to attack Mayo, and you still had him out there on the field. Like if you don't understand this by now, like NFL offenses are so much better compared to when Ron used to play football or coach when he was coaching in Carolina and Del Rio when he was in Jacksonville and he used to play football. Like NFL offenses are so intelligent. Like, bruh. Yeah. If you can't cover, and they will isolate you in space. And if you a linebacker or a thumper and you are that bad, they will find you. So stop it's either you put him on just goal line plays, and that's about it. Like stop putting him out there because he's a liability. He is a complete liability.
He's definitely a liability. You know, it's crazy because Washington had an opportunity to get Bobby Wagner last year.
Yeah.
And didn't pull the trigger. Right? Yeah. A running back a linebacker who could cover. I mean, no one can tell me in that organization that Bobby Wagner is not better than Mayo, right? No one can tell me that Khalid Hudson, right, shouldn't be out there more than Mayo. Right? That is
serious. Like Mayo should not be out there more than him.
One thing I did see about the linebackers, it was good to see Jamin on the blitz.
Yeah.
Today. It's just they didn't blitz as often enough to get Geno to make Geno uncomfortable enough, right? And when they did blitz enough to make Geno uncomfortable.
He was uncomfortable. Right?
Yeah, he got too comfortable. And when they did blitz enough to make him uncomfortable, he made mistakes. He made mistakes. And I don't know why Del Rio didn't keep blitzing, right? And you could do things. Again, I told you before we came on the air. And no knock to St. Juice, but everybody knew that the ball was only going to 2 people, right?
Yeah.
Either Lockett or Metcalf. And again, you didn't take away the inside. Right? Take away the inside. Your corner's lining up head up, right? Giving them a 2-way go. Take away the inside shoulder, and you take away the slant. He's lined out wide for you. That is what needs to take place. You know, it's one of those things. The Commanders are defensively Ron and Del Rio, who are supposed to be defensive coaches, right? Let's be honest. They're defensive coaches,
they're defensive
right?
coaches,
and have one of the worst defenses in the league.
They are, like you said, Glenn. They are defensive coaches. Oh, sorry. I'm actually trying to. I'm sharing stuff. But yeah, like, I'm sharing stuff. But yeah, like they are. That is what annoys me about this whole team. It's just that, like, within the defense, is that this is like we've gotten now. If you're a fan, you've gotten what you wanted on your offensive side. That your head coach is a defensive guy, right? So if it's not working with Jack. Come on, man. Put your 2 cents in. If you're not doing it, do it now. All right. I'm going to keep saying it. When you were in Carolina, your defense was totally different from what you're running now. Totally different. Totally different. You blitz more in Carolina within the A gaps. You did all of this in Carolina. All of this in Carolina. Here, this is more of a passive defense. Now, you can say they don't have the horses. That's fine. Use that argument. But I want to see something. I know Sean McDermott out there Sean McDermott out there in Buffalo, and their defense, when healthy, they continue to rock. Like, I need this dude. Like, I need this defense to be better than this. I'm not asking for an all-world defense. I'm not even asking for that. At first, we was asking for a top 5 defense, top 10 defense. Dude, all I'm asking for the middle of the pack. Because right now, this is atrocious. And we've grown. If you're an older Commanders, Redskins fan, like, you've seen less talented defensive units produce more than this.
Yeah.
No lie, and even with the dudes gone now, I'm gonna say this again. You've seen less talented defensive units better than this.
Good, that's a good point right there.
Yeah. What makes it even worse is Ron is a linebacker. How would he let our linebackers be our weak link? I agree. So I agree, bro. Like, this is like, it's atrocious to me, man. Like, you're coming and you're so humble with it. Like, you're so humble with it. Like, anytime, bro, real talk, Mayo should never, ever touch a football field as a starter. Seriously. Even, like, if he has to come in as a starter, you're doing, because due to injury, you're doing something wrong with your linebacker unit. I'm sorry. Yeah,
definitely.
He should be that deep he should be that further down in the depth chart. He's a special teamer at best.
At best.
At best.
At best. It's not even funny. And then, you're looking at, and that's the problem. Getting blocked, not coming downhill, making tackles, creating wide lanes. And then when someone does catch in front, you cannot run. His legs are like he's in quicksand.
Yeah, bro. All the time. All the time. And why would you, and even that, then why would you have him on have an opportunity to have a start to check a freaking wide receiver? He can barely check backs. Tight ends. You're gonna have him on a wide. You're gonna have him check. I want to say was it DK? I think it may have been DK.
Yeah, he dropped in coverage.
Yeah, like, for real? Him? Come on, man. Come on.
You're better off bringing in another quarterback or bringing in another safety if you knew that was going down instead of bringing another linebacker.
Oh, this is like, it is atrocious. It is atrocious. This is a question right here. Not question. Philip Adam said, not just that, our corners are playing too far off on third and short instances. I agree. They've been doing that for how long with Del Rio? They always play back when it's third and short.
Third and short, you play up.
It makes no sense. They always do this.
Yeah, you're not gonna get burnt.
And George said, tell it on Dave Mayo, but there were so many people wearing the goat horns on defense. I agree. I thought that 4th down penalty was a bad call, but BSJ just can't keep his hands to himself. George, for real, he was early though. Like, he was early.
He was early.
Like, you're still giving the official time to, like, a chance to make that play. Like, have we seen worse? Yes, but in the letter of the law of the rule, it was PI. You know what I mean? Like, he just can't help himself. And
the referee made a call, but you know what? But balls to the wall for Pete Carroll, man. Going for it on 4th down, dog.
Yeah,
Pete Carroll. That's you talk about. We call Ron Rivera Riverboat Ron. Pete Carroll's the dude.
Oh, he is. He is that dude.
Pete Carroll has been rolling that dice the whole time. And he rolled the dice all day today against Washington. And got the 1st down. And got the 4th down when he needed it most.
Yeah, I agree. And my man,
Yeah, Hill did drop in coverage. Yes,
it's insane, man. It's insane. It really is, man. Like, okay, I'm gonna ask you this question, man. You scored a touchdown with the Sam Howell, De'Ami Brown, about 52 seconds left in the game. Would you have went for two? Were you thinking Ron was gonna go for two?
No, it doesn't make a difference.
All right. Because in the day, you're right. Field goal. Because the field goal
right doesn't make a difference.
It don't matter. Make no difference.
You're not
ending the game. You're not ending the game on that play, right?
Yeah, you're not ending the game on that play. Doesn't make a difference. I go for one. I go for the one. Because if you go for one tied up, good. You're the same situation. If you
that's true.
Go for two, you up by one. Yeah. March down the field goal. That doesn't make a difference.
Because I was kind of hoping. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was hoping they was gonna score super late with like 10 seconds left. Because I really had no faith in this defense. And this is wild to say this now, right? Like, think about it for real. This is wild. Yeah. Like in 2023, we're saying that we have no faith. We prefer our offense in the game than our defense. Think about that. With a rookie quarterback. Think about that for real.
Because usually we think in the past we were talking about defense. We wanted defense to stop. Defense was going to get to stop. Defense was going to stop. And I'm saying that the whole time, like, okay, let Geno Smith now be Geno Smith, right?
Yeah.
Let the real Geno Smith show up.
Yep.
You know, we could never get the real Geno Smith.
I mean, I mean, it's like everybody knows I like Geno. Like, I've always kind of liked Geno to a certain extent. But I'm like, I'm going to read what Joel Sanders says. Teams are going on fourth down on us just because they know our defense is sorry and cannot stop nobody. What a mess. I think that too. There is no hope on the defense. Totally agree. That's how I felt. Like when we scored, I was like, damn.
Yeah.
They got to come back out. They got to come. And I was like they got it. I was like 52 seconds, but I'm like,
that's a lot of time.
It's a lot of time. And it's not even because it's Geno or not. It's just because for this defense, because they can make any quarterback look like him. Like they made Mac Jones. Other than that, before he threw that dumb interception, he had an opportunity to tie the game up for a field goal. So it would have been easier to go for two if they had, three. If they had three timeouts. But what is happening? You can't get a play in after an incomplete pass with the clock not moving. They definitely lost their composure in that situation. Right. Definitely lost their composure in that situation. So you won't hear me deny that. But yeah, to me, like that was my thing. Like I had faith in the offense. I even said it on the last when they scored the touchdown. I was like, "Oh, it's Sam time. He got this." Mm-hmm. Like, cause I will say this. I'm gonna be a little positive. Like for you, Glenn, do you feel like when you're down 7 with like 4 minutes or 3 minutes left, and Sam Howell, Eric Bieniemy, and his offense are have the ball? Do you feel confident that this team has an opportunity to at least tie the game or win it?
I do.
Whatever. Mm-hmm.
I have confidence in Sam Howell, and I also have confidence in Eric Bieniemy. If you go back to him in Kansas City, how many times had Patrick Mahomes had to go down to the last drive and win a game?
Yeah.
And Bieniemy was calling plays.
Often, bro.
Right. Look at the time. So I have. Eric Bieniemy has been in this situation multiple times, so I have confidence in Sam. Sam Howell has ice water in his veins. He marched downfield. He marched downfield against the Philadelphia Eagles, right?
Yes, he did. Yeah,
one of the better teams in the league. He's marched down the field in several other teams late in games and put the Washington Commanders in position to win the game. So, no doubt in my mind that Sam Howell can do it. No doubt in my mind that this offensive line, we haven't even got there yet. That this offensive line that they have now. Is better. Is the best combination they have.
Yeah, for them this year, definitely.
One sack today. One sack today.
Was it more? Was it one?
I thought it was more than one time.
Oh, I think I got more than one. I gotta check it. I think it's more than one. The offensive line the offense is not really the issue. They produce at the wrong time, but they produce. Main thing in the offense is not giving Scary Terry the ball, giving up too much to guys that drop that ball on the weekly. I like when he shares the ball. I think Sam's a better player when he shares the ball. To be honest with you, I think he's more accurate. I think you'll have a chance with less turnovers. To me, I do like it, but we all want Terry to touch the ball a little bit more. Like that's a fact. And I do agree with you that you want the offense to be clicking early. So to a point where maybe they're up big. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to rely on the defense to do anything. But I do agree with that part. Like I do want them to be clicking a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
Mark Anderson said EB needs to run this football team. Man, bro.
Yeah.
I do. I think so too, man. I'm sorry. I think this should be like I said this last week, man, in the win. It is EB and Sam Howell's team now, man. That's what it is to me. You know, this team was supposed to be a defensive-minded team because of the head coach. But this is to me is an EB and Sam Howell team because the only thing that's getting better is the offense. The only thing that's getting better is plateauing upwards is the offense. The things that we still get the same thing on defense. It's the same exact thing. Nothing's changing.
They didn't make any moves to make them better. They didn't make any moves to make them better in this defensive situation. Now, of course, you can always ask the question, being able to play smart football, keeping people in bounds, laying on them a little bit, right? That's after you tackle, things of that nature, little small tricks and twerks. Really, like I said, front four. I mean, Allen got a sack, but what else pressure did we get?
There was
right?
And
that's you're asking those guys to do a lot, but you're also asking the secondary. You asking the St. Juices. You asking the Danny Johnsons. You asking them to do their job, right? It was time that Tyler Lockett got wide open. Like let's put up that whole series that Tyler Lockett scored. St. Juice was terrible.
Oh, that whole series was terrible.
You had penalties on St. Juice. You had then St. Juice get cooked for the touchdown.
No, I'm with you. That whole series is bad. Like St.
You had momentum.
That whole series was bad for St. Juice. Like that whole series. That was a horrible series for St. Juice. This shows you how bad the defense is. My man had actually I have a tweet that I want to read out from my man at be easily 62 said only one sack by Jonathan Allen, like one sack by this defense. That's by Jonathan Allen. Like one sack by this defense. Jonathan Allen, like just one. Like make this make sense, defense. Like make this make sense. I think Hill caused the intentional grounding, so I'll give him that one. But make this make sense. Like seriously, come on now. Like you put all the equity into your defense. You know what I'm saying? Like Kendall Fuller's been good, so I feel like I'm gonna take him away from this whole discussion. Like he's been good secondary wise. Cam Curl makes certain plays, but I need him. I want him to be like more. I want him to be more voiced. I want him to be more dominant because now we need this team needs special players. They need playmakers. You know what I mean? They need playmakers. That's what it is.
This defense gave up 489 total yards.
Yes.
489 total yards. 27 first downs to a team that only had 6 last week.
There you go.
A team that only had 6.
It's a serious problem, man. The problem is they don't press or play up. The too much cushion by the time pressure gets to the quarterback, the ball is gone. I agree. My man Darian DH who's been on the show. What's up, DH man? Said what John Allen going to cuss about this week?
His play.
Yeah, he gotta be better. Like they all gotta be better, man. Like today Seattle they had more. They had 3 sacks. Seattle had 3 sacks today.
3 sacks.
Seattle, yeah. So, but yeah, I just feel like to me, you're putting so much on Sam Howell to carry this team. That's where I'm at. Like, you're asking Sam Howell to be the guy. Now we're asking not the guy, like the overall leader of this team. The overall leader of this team is now Sam Howell. In terms of, if you had to say who the best player on the team, right, Glenn? Who would you say? Who's the best player on the team from what you've seen this year? This year, not the history of a player, but this year.
I would say Sam, but Brian Robinson is really close.
Yeah, that's a good one. I agree with that one. That's a good
Brian Robinson is really close.
Yeah, I agree.
But I give it to Sam Howell because he's a quarterback.
Yeah, I agree. Come on, look at the stat line, bro. I'm looking at the stat line. Look, 29 for 44, 312 yards, 7.1 yards per pass, 3 touchdowns. He had a fumble. Quarterback rating of 109. This is frustrating if you're a Commanders fan, bro.
It's very
Like
frustrating.
it's frustrated. My man Javon Lewis said this is so frustrating. I mean, this is so frustrating. Week by week, we don't deserve this BS. I'm serious. Like this,
Serious.
like it's. I understand, my man. I do. I just feel like if you're a Washington fan, like you watch these games and try to watch it for the young ones, because the young players they have on this team, I feel like they bring an element of excitement. Like of anything, like I know, like the season is now it's going left. It's going left. All right. Of anything, like watch these games and just appreciate Sam Howell. Seriously, because like you got one. Like you got one. You know what I'm saying? Like my man Darius, I love how there was so much doubt about Sam, and he's been the most consistent. I agree. Of late, he has been the most consistent. This is like he has been. Oh, I got one. Here goes. So
we
actually,
talked about it on a pregame show.
Go ahead.
About 300 yards. We said he would be consistent. We said he would get 300 yards. We didn't know if this team was going to win or not, but we knew Sam Howell was going to get 300 yards.
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
And we said he would hit 9 receivers. He hit 9 receivers today. He's been doing that
job, bro.
Consistently getting the ball around. Consistently getting the ball. Like I said earlier, you get a ball, you get a pass, you get a pass, you get a pass. And it could have been 10, but John Dawson dropped it 2.
Yeah.
I can't say that. Hold up.
Right.
One was knocked away. One was dropped.
The other one dropped. Yeah, that's true.
One was knocked away. One was dropped.
So when you saw when that touch that when he hit, man, when he made an extra play and he hit his North Carolina teammate De'Ami Brown in the middle, and De'Ami took it and goes for a touchdown. Like, what did you think right there? Were you like, man, we made like this game over? Like, I mean, we gonna win this game, or were you like, overtime?
I was like, I looked at the clock. I said 52 seconds. First of all, I was like, Joey Slye make the kick.
Yeah, that's what I think everybody was saying that.
No, my first thing was Joey Slye make the kick.
Mm-hmm.
And then after he made a kick, I was like, okay, 52 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Joey Slye kicked the ball out of bounds, make the start on 25. And then when they got the ball, I was like, yeah, make a play. Somebody make a play. Right?
Somebody make a play.
I don't even know who to call, right? Because you just want somebody to make a play.
Step up. Yeah, somebody step up.
You want somebody to step up. You want somebody to be the guy, whether it's Cam Curl, whether it's Kendall Fuller, whether it's, St. Juice. I wanted somebody to make a play.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody didn't make a play. They let DK Metcalf, who has been quiet most of the game, take over right there. Knowing where Gino was going.
Everybody knew man.
You take away the stud, right?
You take away the stud. That's the job of a coach, man. Take away the stud.
You take away the stud. If somebody else going to beat me, it will not be DK Metcalf.
Exactly. But you know what? Washington's consistent with that. Oh man, George also said not just that DH. What about the doubt for the EB? He's shown everyone what he can do as an OC without Andy Reid overseeing it. You know what I'm saying? Like I agree. I agree with that, man. I totally agree with that. I just feel go ahead.
We all know why he's not going to get his credit.
Mm-hmm.
Why he's not going to get his credit, and that's ridiculous because he should get his credit. They should fire Ron now and just make EB the head coach for the rest of the year.
I'm with it, bro. I'm with you.
Right.
Yeah.
Just get rid of Ron now and let EB be the head coach for the rest of the year.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm with you.
And let EB see what he can do as the head coach.
It should be happening now. Seriously. Like it should be happening now. Like losses like this should already let you know like it should be happening. Like
this team is losing. And I understand Seattle's the top of the West, right? NFC West.
Mm-hmm.
This team has played good teams or played potential playoff teams real close.
Yeah.
Couldn't get over the hump defensively, right? You talk about the Philadelphia Eagles, right? Will be a playoff team.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about the other team. You talk about the Atlanta Falcons, who may or may not win a division, right? May or may not win a division. This team has the ability, if 1 or 2 stops to go, happens, but defense was not able to step up. Ron Rivera and Jack Del Rio is not calling proper stuff at proper times.
Yeah, I just feel like it's the same old, man. And this is what is so annoying. He said, George says, I can't believe I'm saying this, but Emmanuel Forbes getting booted out of the game really hurt. Feels like he could have done better on Tyler Lockett. Dude, I think he may have done better on Metcalf.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, I think he could have done better on Metcalf. I think not just Lockett. I think he could have done better on Metcalf.
Let's talk about that call for a minute.
Yeah, sure.
Because
let me read this real quick. Let me read this real quick.
Logan Thomas. We saw Logan Thomas get knocked out.
No, I agree. I want to get to that. Let me read this one. I've been a Washington fan for about 45 years. It's like am I seeing the same thing? Yeah, I think we are. Definitely are. You want to introduce our guest real quick too?
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. So right now we got Sports Journey's Washington Commanders reporter Lake Lewis Jr. What's good, Lake, my man?
What's up, fellas? How you guys doing, man?
Good to see you, man.
Yeah, we trying, man. After we trying. So we got people out here watching the show. They chatting. They telling us everything. They venting. And I want to get you first off on a positive tip. Do you think this whole talk about Sam Howell, is he the guy? Can he be the guy? And also EB at the same time. Those two, it's all dead now. Like we should all stop trying to have that debate.
Yeah, man. And I still have people today, I tweeted out during the game that Washington, you have your guy, you do. Just did my ABC postgame thing and was just, that's what I said. Listen, I'm not mincing words on this. Mm-hmm. We've seen some pretty crappy quarterback play for years here. Yeah. And we've seen some inflated quarterback play too.
Yes.
This guy looks good, man. This guy is it. And he has the demeanor, the composure. I've been saying this every day I saw him in practice. I say this. He's even keel. He doesn't get too high. He doesn't get too low. But the outburst of emotion that you saw after that last touchdown, that was confidence right there, man. That's a guy that believes in his coach as far as not Ron. I'm talking about Eric Bieniemy. He believes in his coordinator. And those two guys are a tandem that you cannot break up. The worst thing that this franchise could do is if they decide to go with Sam Howell, which I think everybody in the building knows he's the guy.
Yeah.
To break him up from the guy who's bringing him along. That's all he knows as a pro is Eric. And I say that because somebody said, well, no, he had Scott Turner, but Wole. You guys know all he knows as a pro is Eric Bieniemy.
Yes, all he knows. Yeah, as a pro. Yeah.
So you don't break that up. Mm-hmm. And for me, I'm going to say this. The Giants come in here next week and win. You have to go to Eric Bieniemy as your interim coach. And I think a lot of us deep down, you don't, as media, you don't want to say you're rooting and cheering for things to happen. But my girl told me today, she's like, are you okay out there? I'm like, I'm good. She said, are you, what do you think? What are you feeling? And I'm like, look, the best of both worlds for me happened because I saw Sam and I saw that offense doing what they needed to do to win a football game. But I saw the other side of that thing do exactly what it's been doing. It's predictable. Why are you having Mayo covering Lockett and guys underneath? Listen, if I know that the man is the slowest linebacker in the league, if you two know it, if the fans watching this right now know it, why the hell does
my 17-year-old son do
it? Why doesn't the coordinator do something about it? And again, St. Juice, we all knew coming out of college from Minnesota. He's grabby. I compare him a lot to Breland. He's the guy that's physical. He's grabby. I'm okay with that. Yeah. But my problem is don't put him in a position on that third down play where you have him 6 yards off of DK Metcalf. Yeah, he's supposed to jam him at the line
early.
And guess what? You can't play off guys if you don't get a pass rush. And all I'm saying is I haven't really seen a pass rush.
I haven't either.
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying.
No, I totally agree. That's the thing it's so annoying. And it's just that you're getting high quality quarterback play and a high quality offense. And for years, and it's wild. Like we've been saying, like, all we need is a little bit. All we need is a little bit on offense. It's all we need. And this team could be something. Now you got an actual legit offense where to a point where, and I was asking Glenn, and Glenn said the same thing that I was thinking, like, and I even tweeted, like, there are games in the past watching this team, 3 minutes left, need a touchdown to tie the game, or a touchdown to win the game. And you say to yourself, like, oh, I don't think it's gonna happen. Like, I don't feel good about it. But now, when Sam has the ball, 3 minutes left, 2 minutes left, 4 minutes left, you like, yeah, there's a chance. Like, there's a legit chance. Like, we can get this touchdown.
And the other thing that we should say is, so that people who are watching, because like I said, I had some people in my on my timeline saying that he's not it, he's stopping. I'm inflating things. There's just some angry people out there in general. They don't want to see what they know their eyes are seeing.
Facts.
But let me say this to those same people. It's not as if he forced the ball to Terry McLaurin the whole drive. That touchdown made to your fourth wide receiver.
There you go.
There was a pass to Logan Thomas. There was the slant route to Terry. Jameson dropped one. So he's still spreading the ball around, regardless of the time, regardless of the distance, regardless of the circumstances. To me, that's a quarterback that's seeing things that, I'm telling you, for a guy that made his 11th start, that's pretty impressive. Seattle's defense is not chopped liver. I mean, they had one of the top-ranked defenses. I know last week the Ravens shredded them up pretty good, but I expected their defense to play better than what they did. Well, that's because Washington's offense was doing some things. It's not prolific yet, guys, the offense.
Yeah.
But when you see Brian Robinson for a day lead you in receptions with 6, 119 yards, that's supposed to be a sledgehammer running back. Well, give Eric credit for seeing that this guy can catch the ball. He can do more than just run in between the tackles. I think the fans have to understand, you can't say Sam is your guy over here and not say Eric could possibly be out here. Totally, it just doesn't work that way. Eric's making Sam look the way he does.
Yeah, I think it's the key. They're Batman and Robin. They belong together. All right, they belong together. I think I came before you came on. I said the same thing. If you look at Patrick Mahomes and his late drive that he made at Kansas City, you're starting to see the same thing with Sam Howell and EB. As that you having that faith and the belief that Kansas City would have in Patrick Mahomes, we now having Sam Howell. Washington fans are having in Sam Howell. And the ability for Sam Howell and Eric Bieniemy to get everybody involved in this offense, right? Everybody's involved. You don't know, which is hard on the defense because they don't know where the ball is going. They don't know who to cover. Linebackers don't know where to go at. Backs are coming out of the backfield. You got tight ends coming across on drags. You got people running post corners, and you putting them in a box, and he's making he's making great decisions, right?
Yeah.
He's not holding it as long. He's getting the ball out. He's stepping up in the pocket when he needs to. He's even making good runs. And like I said, shout out to the offensive line. I think I said it before you came on late. This offensive line that they have shouldn't be mixed up. I don't care if Sadiq Charles come back, don't insert him in this line. I don't care if Nick Gates, don't put him. You're building cohesiveness with your offensive line right now. Yeah. And these guys are playing together. They're learning each other. They're trusting each other. And they're building a solid offensive line. They even ran the ball, right? You saw the running of the ball was stretched with zone late in the game, and Brian Robinson was putting in the dirt. And Antonio Gibson came in and was able to get there late. He saw Antonio Gibson laying out for football. Now, his football IQ to me is still a little question. Get out of bounds, young fella. Get out of bounds twice to stop the clock. But I've been saying that for years. Well, I've been saying it for years. I have not lied. But
it's
again,
it's a truth.
But you see this team, this offensive side of the football, you see it's coming together. Defensive side of the football, who's the name?
It's trash, man. I'm sick of it. Like, this is that. It's trash.
I feel bad, man, because our eyes don't deceive us. We this is what we do for a living, and we see this. And the one thing I love about you two brothers is that y'all never try to come across as an expert at I know what you do.
Yeah, exactly.
Them guys in that building are starting to really make me angry because they're trying to force me to think that they're smarter than what I'm seeing. And I mean that, Zach and Ron. I'm serious about it.
Yeah, me too. I agree.
Clearly, they know more football than I know my whole body.
Of course, yeah.
But maybe their type of football just isn't fitting today's game. And it just seems to me, I'm going to ask you guys this one question. The second Antonio Gibson thing, did you feel like that was worthy because of where it was at the time in the game, worthy of challenging the mark? Because
I thought it was a bad spot. That was a horrible spot.
A horrible spot.
Yeah. You mean after when Scary got the slant for the first down, right?
Yeah, no. I mean,
after. I mean, they got the.
Oh yeah,
I know you're talking about after. Yeah. I thought I actually was wild. I was on a text chain. I was like,
nobody sees that, and then Seattle called timeout, which gave you more time to review it.
And
it's someone in the booth. I was like, why didn't it's supposed to be in the booth because of the fourth quarter? I'm like, yo, why not even make the dudes like challenge it upstairs? Like, make them review it. Like, make them review it.
Right. Yeah. I text the group chat. I'm like, yo, that's a bad spot. I think he got the first. I like he got first. He stretched out. It's where the ball was at.
Yeah, it wasn't where his knees were because his knees never hit the ground. His body hit simultaneously.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I thought it was me. I did.
No, it wasn't you.
Wondering what everybody saw on TV. I'm like, this is bad, man.
But you know what, Glenn? I'm always like I'm always like when it comes to Commanders games, I just feel like they always spot the ball bad anyway. Maybe because I'm just and it could be all around in the league. To be real with you, it could be something that's all around the league. But every game I watch, I swear,
it's probably you watch games and you see bad calls all the time.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's not like high school games, they try to mark it on the solid line so they don't mess up.
So like you mentioned Forbes, you mentioned Forbes. So did you think that was worthy? His hit was worthy being kicked out the game?
No, absolutely not. I mean, I definitely felt like it required a 15-yarder, and I'm okay with that. That's the rules, and he did lower his head, but he never went in maliciously to try to knock the guy out. I mean, that's not. He was just making a football play, and it was such a bang bang quick play. Sometimes you just can't. You can't tell yourself in a split second, pick your head up, wrap. I mean, you're going for the ball, and both guys lowered their heads at the same time. So to me, yeah, it should have been a 15-yarder, but definitely not for him to be ejected like that. That's not a good look.
Glenn, you were talking about, you were comparing it to the Logan Thomas hit where did old boy even get kicked out the game?
No,
I'm not sure.
He didn't get kicked out. He didn't get kicked out the game at all.
Yeah,
right.
Look at Colorado early in the year with the kid Hunter almost got beheaded out there.
Yeah,
right.
They didn't kick the kid out the game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the inconsistencies of it, man. Listen, I don't even know if it's just the NFL. It's just like the refereeing in pro sports now is really looking a little shoddy right now. And you know my saying, I only said shoddy because I can't put an eye on your show.
But also too though, this is one thing we talked about. I talked to my son. We watching the game. You never get offensive players called for the same thing when they lowering their helmet, targeting a defensive player.
Never.
And you never see that. You never see that call.
When they see it coming, they lower their head, they lower the crown of their helmets. And again, I'm not trying to talk about the integrity of the game because they're trying to protect guys. I totally get it. Yeah. But when you have plays like last week with KJ Henry, and then you have, plays like this week with Forbes, man, it's like this defense is already up against it.
Right.
You can't have these moments where it's like, man, they can't win for trying. Yeah. So Forbes will just have to learn, keep your head up, man. You can't, young man, you can't put your head down like that because they were looking for that. And I've seen a lot worse in the NFL, and guys were perfectly fine on the field.
Exactly. And do you think? Because Glenn asked this question too. Do you think that Forbes would have made some type of difference if he had stayed in the game?
I do. I think. Okay. He's a guy that probably would have been on Metcalf a little bit more.
I think so too.
I already know where y'all going. You're gonna say Metcalf was gonna body him up with
No. I actually wouldn't. No. I actually wouldn't.
I wouldn't say that. No. I totally agree with you.
Well, this is the other thing. Benji played really well last year down the stretch. And y'all remember where he was playing, right? Yeah. He was playing in the slot. And he's so grabby, perfect underneath, grab these little guys. He was throwing them off. But when you put him on the outside, it's just, I don't know if that's his game. I just don't. And they left him on an island, the same thing they did with Forbes and A.J. Brown. They left these young guys out on islands with monsters. Those are probably two biggest, most physical receivers in the game.
Facts.
There's no help over top. And I'm just, if they're going to him, why are you letting him run freely off the line of scrimmage? That's defense 101. Jam them at the line and have somebody cover two, somebody up top. I mean, it's just why they're not doing it.
Well, I mean, they did. Like Seattle was doing it to
outside backer. No, outside backer coming underneath because we got Seam Carroll flat. There got to be somebody coming underneath to protect that. And there's nobody coming underneath to help the corner when he's on an island, right? And that's day one high school outside linebacker. You know what I'm saying? again, you leaving this guy on the island, and not only giving him on the island, but he's giving up his inside when it's a 4th and 1 or a 3rd and 1, knowing that they're not going deep on a 4th and 1. They're going to try to do a slant route every time inside. Look what Washington did when they did the 4th and 1. They cleared everything out and let Terry run a slant on the inside. It's very NFL games. This is what the NFL coaches do. It is not different. Everybody runs the same thing. They may call it different. It is exactly the same thing. It's common sense.
And if you are going to combat that, then I need to see a different linebacker in there. You can't have David Mayo.
That's what I'm saying. You can't have Mayo.
He's the slowest guy on your team.
I'm sorry.
And you have him covering some of the fastest guy on the opposing team. To me, that is a schematic problem. And but all we're going to hear this week, sitting there and heard it last week, was guys got to do their job. I mean, coaches got to do their job too.
No, I agree. I totally agree. He said Forbes, my man Mark said Forbes would have been a game changer if he was in the game. I think, I was liking this confidence. I'm all about cornerbacks getting confidence. And I also think, since we're talking about grooming young players and talking about trying to give them the experience, there's nothing wrong with going at this point in time. We're just trying to evaluate young players. There is nothing wrong with having a young guy go up against the best at this particular point in time. Because I don't want to hear the word playoffs. I'm kind of sick of that word.
Stop that.
Yeah, like I don't like hearing that word. I don't like hearing
playoff teams find ways to win games, not lose.
Exactly.
And this team finds ways to lose games just as easily as they can win it. They will do something. I mean, Joey Slott missed the extra point. I'm like, those are the little things that you knew when that happened that was going to come back at some point in the game and bite them. And it did. I mean, there's so many plays that they've left out on the field. But again, all we're going to hear is guys got to play better and do their job.
It's
a sign over the locker room. But the coaches need to start saying to themselves, I'm getting out coached week in and week out. My scheme is not working. And I'm saying this, and I'm not trying to be biased towards Eric. That's my guy. But I'm saying this. My eyes see week to week the offense elevating, getting better. If you're going to say Sam Howell's looking great and looking like the franchise quarterback that this franchise has lacked, then maybe this is the coach that's been lacking too. And I do know that offense looks more modern than it's ever has. Last time it's looked anything like this was when Jay Gruden was coach. And no one ever knocked Jay Gruden's offensive acumen. It was just, other things. So, yeah, man, it's just frustrating, guys, that have to come on all the time and just talk about a team that just hands games over. And it's not all on the players, man. You guys know I'm going to defend the players all day. I mean, we're former players. It's just what we do. But I'm not comfortable seeing some of the things that I'm seeing from a scheme thing.
And like, this question for you. You think there will come a point where a player says the coaches need to do their job?
Well, that's a great question to whoever asked.
That was George, my man George.
Okay, well, George, that's a great question, but I'm going to say this. This roster is not built for somebody to challenge that. I'm just putting it out there. I'm being upfront.
So true, man. So true.
Anybody that had a voice, matter of fact, they're in San Francisco right now, in Chicago. Yeah, anybody that had a voice to challenge what was being done, they were gone. They were jettisoned out. And I've said this before, the days of having a DJ Swearinger, the days of having a Pierre Garçon or Deshaun Jackson, guys that would say what they didn't like was being done, that had equity on the field to be able to say that. Okay, they don't have that right now. The guys that could do it, the John Allens, the Terry McLaurin's, they're super nice dudes. They're really nice guys, and they may voice their frustrations as a collective unit, but they're just nice dudes. And I've always said this. I'm different. I'd rather lose with 11 jerks than you know what I mean, or win with 11 jerks than to lose with 11 nice guys.
And everybody always gets on me when I say I'm not a fan of character. I don't care about character.
Listen. I know this is different sports. Well, I was going to say Kobe and Mike. They weren't liked. Was Tom Brady liked?
No.
Was Brett Favre, was Aaron Rodgers. None of these guys are liked.
Peyton Manning wasn't even liked.
Peyton Manning, but what they did was they made you strap it up and they made you bring it. And they also had enough, like I said, enough wherewithal to be able to say to a coach, hey, I see this out here, and maybe we should do some things. I understand that, you have some young guys, and I'm not even talking about the offense. I'm not. I think they like what they're doing over there. I think on the defensive side of the ball, and I'm not saying I know this verbatim from guys, some of the guys just don't trust what they're being told to do because it's not the strength of their games. And you saw two of them who felt that way, and they're gone.
And they're gone. But see, that's also goes to where the coach doesn't trust the player.
Yeah.
Because if your player tells you something, who's in the front lines, he sees something. Hey, this is what I can do. You have a coach have to have enough ability and trust in him that he's going to execute that.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
You talked about Michael Jordan earlier, right? Michael Jordan had enough trust. Let me kick this out to Steve Kerr, because right now everybody's coming to me and Steve Kerr would bang it, right? It hit the shot. You got to have enough trust to know, and whether and that's something that the Washington Commanders defense right now don't have a true leader. There's no true leader. You have names that people like and that fans like, but there's not that leader. Cam Curl's too quiet.
Yeah. You don't have that guy. I agree with you. I mean, to me, the natural guy that I think from his game would have enough, oomph, so to speak, where he could say something people would listen, is also quiet and super nice, and that's Deron Payne. So if you naturally fall on a guy that does spew off sometimes, it would be John Allen. John Allen's a class dude, man. You don't have to worry about John Allen when he walks out that locker room. I mean, he's a good dude. But again, man, you need somebody in there that's going to jump in somebody's face. And we saw that in Dallas a couple years ago with John and Deron. And it shocked everybody. They started playing good football right after that, if y'all remember. I'm not saying that you have to always have those moments in order for you to do your job, because you are a pro at the end of the day. But I guess we all know that the message from the coaches is falling on deaf ears, because that's not working. It's not working.
Funny. Hey, we actually got a comment from man Armand. What's going on, Armand? He said Hill looks just like Chase and Tez because JDR is telling them to overrun the play and keep contained instead of getting the quarterback. Yeah.
Over to contain. That's it.
Yeah.
Not make a play. And now it seems like when Hill was in the, remember the Falcons game, he was out there.
Yeah.
Now exactly. He's telling them, do this, do that. So again, these guys don't play fast and downhill. They play. It's more of a reactionary defense, and they're always playing on their heels. And then you expect guys to go ahead and make a play. It's hard to do that, man, when you can't play to your God-given ability.
One more from Armand. He said, we made a call to trade 2 players who didn't produce in a trash JDR system.
Thank you. And I've been saying this. What did Chase do today, by the way?
Yeah, a sack and a half. Caused a fumble.
Yeah. I mean,
half sack. Sorry, half sack.
Don't get back
half sack. No.
Him and Joey Bosa had a meeting at the room.
They did, and they both they forced a fumble on that same play.
So again, all I'm saying is, you just think about that. You guys know, you've been covering this team as long as I have. You know that those guys were not turned loose. They just weren't. They're freak athletes. They weren't turned loose. They were being asked to be part of the system, and I get it. Yeah. But when you go up the road in Baltimore, I know they lost today, and that was a bad loss. The game they had in hand. But you look at the Roquan Smiths out there. I mean, you bring in Van Noy. You bring in all these guys, and look at Patrick Queen. Like, people were ready to write him off. And now they're talking about that's the best linebacking core in the league. I mean, it's just, again, when you let guys play to their abilities, you'd be surprised how things work out. And I just know for a fact, looking at this defense, they just look robotic. I don't want to question any man's heart that plays football, because that's a brutal sport. But you just see guys just not knowing what to do, and they look bad. And it makes them look bad being in that scheme.
They seem like they're a step or two behind in everything. They're playing slow. Yeah, everything is a step or two behind, and they're playing slow. And anytime you get athletes who play slow, either they confused,
right.
The main thing is they confused or they don't care. Yeah. And I think it's a little bit of both.
I was gonna say, and it might be both.
It's a little bit of both.
All right, I got another question for you. It says, do you guys feel like it's time to get rid of Ron Rivera and Jack Del Rio? I have watched this team for 4 years and still don't see any improvement except for the quarterback. EB, what's up? You did that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, Eric's improved that quarterback, and that's why I think, to answer that man's question, good question. I like how they pop up on the screen like that too. That's all right. But it's listen, we cover them. These people popping up on the screen are fans. They see the same things we see. So why isn't it seen in the building? And that's called politics, guys. Let's just, we know what this is all about.
Yeah.
It's people playing their favorites, and the 11 best guys on defense are not on the field. I'm starting to see the 11 best guys on offense on the field. And that's why they're producing. That's why they made 2 changes on the offensive line. And they were smart enough to not go back to the starters when they're healthy, because those guys weren't getting it done. On defense, though, you can't tell me that. I mean, you brought in Jabril Cox, from he's on the practice squad. Now you brought him up. Yeah. I don't see him. I don't see him. And Khaleke Hudson, wasn't Khaleke Hudson having a pretty impressive training camp in preseason? I know that's what I saw every day out there.
Yeah.
You're not giving this guy a chance because you've defined him as a special teams guy. The last time I saw this team do that, where they defined somebody as a special teams guy, he went up to Buffalo, Lorenzo Alexander, and was run-up Defensive Player of the Year. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Stop playing politics and play the best guys, and you might have different results.
No, I agree. They did actually try that with Antonio Pierce, and they was forced. Greg Williams, but Greg Williams let him. But then Greg Williams
out winning games now as a coach with both.
Yeah, exactly.
Same thing with Samaje Perine.
Oh my goodness gracious! Yeah, same thing with Samaje. Same thing. This is again, man. You there's talent that's there. You just I've always said this. Don't groom a guy to go through dog days and then you trade them when they're on the cusp of going into their prime. That's what you just did with your 2, defensive ends. You're going to watch these guys for years to come be out there making plays, and it's going to be what could have been. I just said this. I just wanted to see him play in a different system. Just to see what he do. Well, not somebody else's system, but a system that would play here.
I agree. I totally agree. My man Mike has another question. It says, do you think they will bench St. Juice like they did Forbes because he was getting beat week to week?
I mean, who you gonna replace him with? I mean, you okay? So if you put Forbes back in there, if he has a bad one, you're gonna do the same thing. First of all, they should have never benched Forbes in the first place. That was a miserable, despicable look for them. Don't tell me they were trying to save him and keep his confidence. No, you took his confidence when you did that. Because if you felt that way, you would have never had him on an island with A.J. Brown.
True.
You would have never had him on an island with Stephon Diggs. You would have never had him on an island, with all these great receivers week after week after week. Sometimes you just have to scheme differently and double team some of these guys and take them out the game and make other guys beat you. But every week I see the best player on the opposing team's offense have a career day, and they're already Pro Bowlers. That should not happen.
Yeah. Roy, my man said, Ray Hall said, same with Gibson. He had a great season, then had that fumble, and they've been scared of him ever since.
So hold on. You know. Hey,
I mean, he had more than one, but
more than one. I like Antonio. Like I would try to root for him, but I try
to root for him, but you can't put the ball on the ground.
No, I'm sorry. I agree.
And there were fumbles I'm not talking about like the Brian Robinson fumble when it's punched out, right? These were fumbles where his hands just came off like Tiki Barber fumbles.
But in fairness to Antonio, he wasn't a running back in college.
Yeah,
when he was in Memphis, he was a receiver that they would put sometimes in the backfield. Where you look at him and you look at his size now, they bulked him up. They run him between the tackles. That's not a natural thing for him. And you can see that sometimes the decision-making out on the field isn't a natural. Glenn, you mentioned the football IQ. Listen, man, when you don't know to get out of bounds and do certain things, has that not been said to him a couple times? I mean, you have to ask those questions because you know it, I know it, everybody knows get out of bounds, and he's not. So I don't know. I'm just saying this. If you want the credit when this team's winning, you got to take the credit when they're losing too. And I see a lot of deflection when they lose. It's the players didn't do this, players didn't do that. You got to say, I have not coached this team up properly. I have not. You can't have a team go across country and fight to just lose the way they did. You know, that final drive was just too easy.
It's too easy.
It was just too easy. It was just like, too easy. Okay, we're just going to let you go down the field. And when you play off your receivers like that, it was almost like they were playing a prevent defense at the end of the game. And you guys know prevent defense prevents you from winning. That's exactly what happened. So, again, man, it's frustrating because I just know what I'm going to hear all week. It's going to be the same song. Man, we could put different music underneath it, and it would sound like new remakes, man. I'm serious.
Hey, Lake, man, thanks for being on. I know it's been a long night for you, but before we let you go, I do want to ask you one last question. How do you? We already know where this offense is at, and like I said, I think this team is going to be led by this offense. But how can they fix this defense this season, or just try to? What can they do to make it at least a respectable defense?
Man, I'm gonna say this, guys, and it's tough. They can't.
Yeah,
they can't. They can't. I mean, because if that was the question, it would have been done by now, right? Seriously, it would have. It wouldn't have been. This is the fourth year, and each year, where's that defense gone? So last year you finished in the top 5. This is nothing close to that, and you have more talent technically. So to me, what's going on here? Are the players regressing? Sometimes it looks like it, but it's just they're not being told what to do properly. I'm convinced of that. I really am. And call me not the best, person to promote, the defensive coaches. Ryan Kerrigan's my guy. It's not him. It's the guy running the show over there. And I'm just saying.
If this is what you're getting against the Seattle Seahawks, we'll see what next week. Giants, Thanksgiving Day against a team who is going to be bad, and that's everybody watching, right? There's a question of now. Somebody asked, will they get fired in midseason? If they blow an egg on Thanksgiving Day, with that long period between next game, that's when you see heads roll.
You know what? That's fair, and I'm gonna say it too. If it makes my food bad on Thanksgiving, you gotta go.
You gotta go.
And again,
you gotta go.
We gotta be there for that. I gotta be there for Thanksgiving. So my thing is, again, everybody's watching you. You are now. It's not the game that nobody cares about. You're front and center. If you lose twice to the Giants, that team is terrible.
That's the one.
That's the one. They got blown up. Yeah. If you lose to the Giants at home, you have to make changes. You have to.
That's the one. That's
the only reason I think they won't make a change after the Giant game is too quick of a turnaround.
Oh, I didn't make that change.
Listen, man. Turnaround for what? Too quick of a turnaround
for what?
Turn around to play because you play Sunday, then you got to come back and play Thursday.
What are you playing for?
But I'm just saying, what's the difference? You're going to lose anyway.
That's what I'm saying.
New scheme, new system, the teaching aspect of it. Man. There's 2 times.
That's when you worry about the playoffs.
There's only 2 times left in the season where they can get rid of the coach at time. After Thanksgiving and then week 14 to bye.
Okay, so let me and Glenn, I respect that, but I'm gonna say this. Now that I see what the offense is doing, nothing's gonna change on that side of the ball. The defense already not showing up. So what changes? I mean, you just maybe you go to one of your other coordinators. I think the linebacker coach would be the perfect person that you hand it over to. But you have to say, we need to see a different setup. It can be same fundamental scheme, but, it's amazing how they blitz now where they didn't blitz when Chase and Montez were here. Little things like that just don't make sense. So I respect that way of thought as far as, giving EB enough time to get his feet under him in that regard. But he already running that. I mean, from an offensive standpoint.
He run it. Like, he run the offense. So he run the offense. I totally agree. But hey, Lake, man, thanks for being on, man. Appreciate you, my man.
All right.
Go get some rest, man. Go get some rest.
Yeah, appreciate you, late.
Or jump on your next show. Or jump on the next show.
Stay out of trouble. Stay out of trouble.
Always
trying to,
bro.
man.
Shots to tequila, man. Shots to tequila. Let's get it.
Yeah, of course you won't need
it. Oh man, but yeah, man, this has been that I agree with late. You know what I'm saying? Like, and what I've said before, and we've talked about it already, so not to be redundant, but like this defense is the problem, and I don't know what they can do to fix it. I don't think they can do anything to fix it. But I will say, like, to me, something to give like fans hope to watch games and to be invested is just to play the young dudes, like all of them. Like, to be honest with you, so there's no reason to play a Mayo, right? Like, you play a Hudson. You know what I'm saying? Play Jabril Cox. Seriously, like, play these individuals and give them an opportunity because you already know what you got. Like, you just play Jones a lot. You know, the young kid Jones play KJ Henry a lot more. To be honest with you, like, these dudes should get so much burn right now. You know, Andre Jones, KJ Henry, they should get so much burn right now. That should be, to me, a focus on defense. And I would play, and I said this before, don't even care. I would play Quan Martin as safety, alongside Curl. But I would have him start. He would be my starting safety. Like, he would be my starting safety alongside.
I don't have to disagree you on it. Cam's that dude, man.
No, alongside Cam Curl.
Oh, you said alongside. Okay.
Alongside, not starting. Cam Curl. Alongside Cam Curl. Like, start like Percy Butler's fine. Like, you let Percy play more Buffalo nickel. Like, but I want Quan to be the guy. Like, I want Quan to be the guy alongside Cam Curl. You know what I'm saying? My man Mike said I think KJ Henry will be good if he gets some playing time. Right. I mean, the sack they took away from him in the Patriots, he looked good on that play. He didn't have a great preseason to me, but that sack, he looked good. Go ahead.
He looked good. Hey, I just want to read this real quick. We talked about Emmanuel Forbes earlier before we get out here. You know, the poll we put on Twitter, would Emmanuel Forbes make a difference? 58% of the people said yes.
I do. I think he would have been better. He would have been better than St. Juice.
Yes,
it's wild because I'm not the biggest St. Juice person, so you're asking the wrong person. Like, I've said that, you know what, he has. When he plays well, I never discount it or discredit it. He's always been handsy. He's a whole pass interference type of dude. That's just who he is. You know what I'm saying? And if it's up to the official to see, it's up to the official to see what he can get away with, right?
Well,
you know what I'm saying? It's almost similar to what the Seattle Seahawks used to be back in the day with Richard Sherman and Brower, Legion Boom and Brower and whatnot. They used to be that the same way.
But same way that Richard Seymour and them were in New England.
Seymour, yeah.
Seymour were there when they used to beat up the Indianapolis Colts wide receivers, right?
With Ty Law and company.
With Ty Law, they would beat up the receivers and let the referees call them. Other poll that we put on Twitter are you a believer in Sam Howell? Which I was shocked here. 100% of people said yes.
Yeah, they should. Oh, are you shocked at 100%? Yeah, I'm shocked at like
I'm shocked at the 100%.
Yeah, I'm shocked at
100% of people that Twitter said they believe in Sam Howell.
That's what's up. They should. He's him. I've said this for the last couple of weeks. I've been saying it early. He's him. I don't know why this thing is. Look, if your homie
Brian Robinson is him also.
Yeah, I'm not knocking on Brian Robinson, but he's him. Like,
he's
running back be all right. There's different levels to it. Brian Robinson's good. I like Brian Robinson a lot. But when we talk about a franchise quarter, when you talk about quarterback, and the offense is run by a quarterback. It is what it is. That's how the NFL works. Sam Howell is him. Like, Sam Howell is arguably, to me, when we talk in the next year or two, is the best quarterback in the NFC East. That's how good Sam Howell is. You can make the argument that he may be it right now, but I'm just saying, like, you can make. We said
that in the summer. I believe Ray said it. One of you guys said it.
Ray said it. Not me. I'll give credit with Ray. You can make
Ray
the
said
argument
NFC East that Sam Howell's the best quarterback.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, yeah, obviously you have Jalen Hurts, different team, different weapons, a better overall team. But the number Sam Howell is doing cannot be disrespected. Like, what he's doing is been amazing. 3 straight games, 300 yards passing, and his numbers are up there with some of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. And he is carrying the team. His defense is letting him down. He's a rookie quarterback doing this. He is doing all of that. My man, Mike, appreciate you. Mike agrees that Howell is him. My man Armand said, why wait to fire people? Coaches get fully guaranteed contracts and they do this trash. but a player can get and contract settle and but a player can get and contract settlement. I mean, a contract settlement, I guess. Yeah, I agree. They could. I would definitely fire. I'd fire Ron. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'd fire Ron and Jack. I would, but I'm different. I would have fired him a while ago. Like I would have fired him after they lost to the Giants. To be told, I would have fired him after they lost to the Bears. To be real with you, like I would have fired him after they lost to the Bears. Like,
me too. You know, we talk about Sam Howell, man. So truth be told, if Miami don't play today, do they? And Sam Howell should be the leading passer in the NFL this week.
That's crazy. This is you, Glenn. Ray Hall said Brian Robinson is him. Don't forget what he did for us before EB got here. I agree, man. He didn't decline. He's just not getting the touches. I agree. I think he deserves more touches. I think he is him. I'm not knocking Brian Robinson. I think he's him. I'm just saying that Sam Howell.
Is he?
Like, we finally got that quarterback. Like, folks, y'all, like last game-winning drives. Like, it's not a thing. It's like I think the commentators mentioned Sam Howell leading in college football. He was like tops in like game-winning drives in college football while in North Carolina. That is translating in the NFL. Like, I don't know if you noticed, like he did to the Eagles. Like even the Eagles game, if you were looking at the Giants game on that last drive where we talk about Dotson not dropping the ball, like old boy is good when it comes to like that drive. It is in him. It's like some people like some players when they have that, when it's the go time, it's that clutch gene. They got that innate ability to say, you know what, they rise their game to the top. Sam Howell is one of those people. I think
he wants the ball last hand.
You say that.
He wants the ball last.
He wants the ball. I mean, that's what you tell.
He wants the ball last, and he has confidence in his ability. Have confidence not only in his ability, he has confidence in his receivers to be able to do the right thing.
Yeah, let the play with like Diami, man. Give him Diami the play to make a chance to make the play to do it. My man Mike said Howell is fearless and he plays with a lot of heart. Agreed. Ray also said Howell is two. I'm a fan. I'm just saying Robinson is too. I agree with you, Mike. I agree with you, Ray. I'm with you.
Yeah,
like we could all agree, Ray. We could all agree. We're here to agree. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we're here to agree.
But I also think this, man. I think EB and them when Washington had the ball. I think it was the third quarter. After the first drive in the third quarter, when they got the field goal, the play calling there to me could have been a little bit better.
Conservative? Was it conservative to you? I thought it was conservative.
It was real conservative.
I thought it was real conservative. I think that they respected Seattle's DBs a little too much.
Yeah,
I will say that. I agree with that.
It was too conservative because if you score there, it makes a difference there, right?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think like respect it a little bit too much. Armand said Sam can't turn the ball over. He's got to learn when to fold him. I mean, he doesn't really. All right, the only thing like he hit a fumble, but real talk, Sam doesn't really turn. Like the Buffalo game is like the game he really turned the ball over, and it's kind of prorated his stats a little bit when it comes to turnovers. Yeah. Like he don't really turn the ball over like that.
He don't really turn the ball over.
Like not like that. Like compared to like if you look at game from game, like you said, like this game he turned the ball.
Look at Lamar Jackson today.
Yeah, like for real, like. If you look at, he don't turn the ball over. But I get you. Like you do want to be more safe with the ball. Like that fumble shouldn't have happened. But you should be.
Yeah, I mean, get to that point. That fumble was a killer on the drive because it would have been on Seattle. Would have been on Seattle's 48-yard line. Momentum was given going, and it could have ended up being a scoring drive.
I know you're coming from though. I do know you're coming from. I just think that for me, like the maturation process of Sam Howell is just growing. It continues to grow. So Glenn, for you, man, real quick before we end the show. We can do a little positive. I know we've been gassing up Sam Howell, but other than Sam Howell and EB, what are your positives of today's game?
Positive to today's game is Brian Robinson and Antonio Gibson being able to catch the ball out of the backfield, put their head down and get extra yards, and also being able to run late, right? In this game and have movement. Offensive line positives as well. Keeping him upright. I mean, 3 times 3 is better than 6, right? 3. I mean, and when you talk about sacks, right? So in this case, we only getting sacked 3 times. Being able to run the ball, even though they was running late. I mean, and being able to complete a lot of balls on third down, right? Being able to extend drives, and I thought he did a good job there. It's just one of those things where defensively, what can you say? Good, I guess. I guess there wasn't a 100-yard receiver.
Yeah. No, I get you. I get you. My man say he has not turned the ball over every game. You check the stats. They didn't turn the game. He didn't turn the ball over against the Patriots. Did he turn the ball over?
Yes, he did. He threw the ball into end zone.
Oh, end zone. Sorry, the one interception against the Falcons. Not against the Falcons. He turned the ball over against the Giants. He did turn the ball over against the Giants.
The ball against the Giants. The ball against the Bears.
The Bears. He turned the ball over once against the Bears. The Buffalo game. The Broncos game. He didn't turn the ball over. The Cardinals game. He threw the ball. He turned the ball over against the Cardinals too. He did. I mean, he turned fumbles. I don't care about fumbles. That's a sack fumbles. That's bad protection. That's a little different. But in terms of interceptions, he's not throwing interceptions left and right. But I guess, hey, I'll give you that. He turned the ball over. Okay. It's not as bad as some of these other quarterbacks that we've seen in the past. But I get you. I'm with you, bro. But for me, my positives would be what my positive be? This is a tough one. Oh, yeah, my positive would be De'Ami Brown, man. I feel like De'Ami gets a little flack to get that catch and turn up to score a touchdown and look like, the tie of the game. Like, yeah, he just catching the ball was a big thing, but it's just to kind of turn that into yards after the catch and to turn that into a touchdown to display your speed and kind of, I think that's a good confidence boost for De'Ami Brown. So I'm gonna give De'Ami Brown like a positive just to kind of get his beak wet, get comfortable in the system, to have that explosive play because he's been close, right? Like he's been like in terms of an open bomb and like kind of been like missed it by a little bit or dropped one, you know what I mean? Or there was the one last week where he had an opportunity to jump and catch one and went through his hand. So in a touchdown in the end zone, the Patriots game. So I do think that for him, this was a big, this would be a big confidence boost for De'Ami. We saw last year with Carson Wentz, those 2 touchdown passes, against the Tennessee Titans. Yeah, it was the Tennessee Titans. He had in that big game. But I do think that this could be a good confidence boost for De'Ami. So I'm gonna give De'Ami, for me, I think that in terms of a positive, that he would get that. I ain't give you no positives on defense because the defense was trash. I can't do it. Like I could try Jonathan Allen getting a sack, maybe, I guess. But that's not to me. You want this defense to be more dominant. I still think just because they lost Chase and Montez, and granted, those are 2 big dudes, like 2 important dudes, but it's still enough. You still have enough on that defensive line with Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne to get pressure. Like these are 2 of the best interior dudes you have in the league, and they're together, and you're not getting pressure up front. Like your DN should do a little bit more. And I don't know if that's schematic, that's scheme or whatever, but they needed to be doing more. And this whole season, well, the last 2 games, because I'm talking about these new guys, these last 2 games, Smith Williams, Hill, they just haven't done enough in the rotation. KJ had a good play last week against the Patriots. The sack was taken away, but Jones and whatnot, those dudes are like they're not doing enough. So if we talking about a defensive front that needs a defense needs to stand up, we pride this defense on their defensive line. We've even pride the backups. A lot of people said Casey Hill was going to go out and eat. Armand, I'm gonna read his comment. Armand said this team reflects their leadership. At the end of the day, only bright spot is offense and special teams right now. Fire the rest. Yeah, special teams has been kind of solid too. They have been solid. Other than the missed extra point, but yeah, they've been solid enough.
Well, hit the goalpost.
No, it's extra point. I'm not doing a hit the goalpost. It's an extra point. We're not doing hit the goalpost for extra point.
Extra point is no longer a give me anymore. As it used to.
You're an NFL kicker. You're paid to kick the ball. It's a 30-year-old kick. Even when we were younger, was like a kick that we expected good kickers to make.
You expected to make that.
Yeah, like a 30-yard kick you expect to make. I get like a 43 to 45. I get that, but
he was solid at rest of the day on field goals. Perfect on field goals.
Yeah, but missed extra point.
I said it makes it different anyway.
It didn't real in the grand scheme of things, like the way this game planned out. Yeah, it didn't make a difference. Yeah, but
it made a difference.
He said, my man Armand said, he did say, Hill and FA can ball, but JDR is telling them to stand down. It's possible, man. They can ball. I'm not denying that they aren't bad. Or bad. Armand Brown said he hit the goalpost. Moral victories. Oh man. Oh, no lies told here, my man. Oh, no lies told, man. Oh man. But anyway, man, this has been like I said, it's been fun talking to you all. It's been therapeutic. I don't know where we go from here, Glenn, in terms of what this team could do. They got the Giants, so this is a feel-good game.
It's like everything says, it's 1 week at a time, 1 day at a time. We see what happens. See where it falls. Don't mention that P word. Just see what happens.
Oh, stop talking about that.
Yeah, stop talking about that.
We done talking I don't want to hear that in none of our shows. That word needs to not be.
I'm
gonna tell. Matter of fact, any guests we have, I'm gonna mute them. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like I'm gonna mute guests.
Let's not bring that word up because again, if this team limps into the playoffs, right? If they, this is the last time I will use this term. If they limp into the playoffs, do you want to see that?
Nah, I want to actually because that's happened before.
Right.
I don't need.
They limp in and they play the Philadelphia Eagles, right? 1-7. You don't want to see that.
No, I don't want that. I saw it when they play Tampa. I don't need to see that. Like, I don't need them limping in postseason. I want them to be a real playoff team. I don't need Ron's November rush. I don't need that crap. That's annoying.
Don't need that. Yeah. Hey, but those who's watching, man, just hit the subscribe button, the bell notification while you're out there.
Appreciate y'all, man. Hit the subscribe button. We appreciate y'all, man. I really do. Hey, also subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. Just search All Burgundy and Go Everything. Hit us up on X. At ABG_everything. Hit us up on IG at ABG_everything. And like our All Burgundy and Go Everything Facebook page. I do appreciate y'all. Y'all do have the little Facebook page jumping. Y'all be working it. So y'all keep liking it and keep sharing it with a friend, man. And like Glenn said, you watch this on YouTube, hit the red subscribe button, like this video. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. You all are the real MVPs. Yep. Anyway. You've been listening to All Burgundy and Go Everything, powered by the Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio, 96.9 FM and 1340 AM, Hopewell, Virginia, for ages. You dig? Deuces. We out. Do better, Commanders. Do better.